So you get studies like this that show like you must orgasm 21 times a month to avoid prostate cancer and stuff like that, you know? What these scientific studies don't tell you, there's many variables. So the people, what was their diet like? What was their exercise like? There's many reasons why people get cancer. What was their stress level like? It's not just, busting a nut. Do you know what I mean? Um, so science has too many variables. Um, it's up to you, Sangatiji, what you want to believe. The science, which is like limited man-made stuff and has many, many variables. Scientists always get studies wrong, yeah, and then they go back on it in 10 years and say, oh shit, we got it wrong. Because there's so many unaccounted variables. Not every scientific study is great. There's some that are just great, and there's just like, you can't uh, debunk it, or you can't pick flaws in it. But a lot of stuff with a lot of variables, you can pick flaws on it. To say you have to masturbate or have sex 21 times a month to avoid prostate cancer is, oh, it's hilarious, yeah. The thing is, people that have abstained from sex, when you talk to them about the experience, they have more mental clarity, they have more energy, they feel more vitality, they feel more stronger. Do you know what I mean? Cancer is one of these things. There's too many factors that can cause it. So I've read how the studies are done, this, that, it's mumbo jumbo to me, yeah. A guru, a Bani, Turki Bani, the real scientist, God is coming from God who created everything. He knows the answers. The Bani's telling us to preserve our semen, preserve our life force. Sikhi teaches us a culture of just use sex as a mechanical thing to procreate, really. That's it. Yes, it might make you feel good in a mechanical way, but spiritually, it ain't gonna do nothing. We don't believe in all this tantric, this and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm gonna show you a video where this woman is saying, yeah, oral sex, it heals the man, a woman, her throat chakra, and it releases certain energies in a man, and it's good for the spiritual well-being and this and that. Science is showing that, you will actually increase your chances of throat cancer because bacteria is going in your mouth, which shouldn't be, because it's kind of degrading doing these sort of positions, oral sex positions, yeah. And your body has certain antibacterial in your mouth that will fight bacteria that's meant to be coming in your mouth. But when it's not meant to be coming in your mouth, when it's coming from reproductive organs or organs which secrete waste products like urine, and some oral sex, people do anal oral sex, and secreting waste products like feces and stuff, then bacteria is gonna cause cancer. Do you know what I mean? So don't believe the mumbo jumbo with these tantric gurus and some of this science. I will include the Gurbani quotes in the end of the talk. So if you look at how much sex Bonnie Blue has, she cancer proof. He's telling me she can't get cancer. There's so many variables to cancer and heart disease and stuff. There's so much to it. I'm science bunky done the bullshit, you know what I mean? Um, Sex is actually draining in the wrong context. And it's not good for your soul, your atma, in the wrong context. Excessive masturbation is depleting, draining your life source, your energy, all sorts of stuff. I don't want to talk any spiritual terms on this picture, but in the next one I will. So some places of work are even giving half an hour masturbation breaks, to the workers because they believe in all this scientific shit, and they said they want their workers not to be stressed and focused. When they got no tension, they do better work. Like this is a film company, in Spain. I was reading about it. The thing is, look, it releases good hormones, yeah. Okay, masturbation and stuff, yeah, feel good hormones. Junk food releases good feel good hormones. Cigarettes do. Other A-class drugs do. It doesn't mean it's good for you. Yeah, I'm not saying sex in the right context is bad, because when you're married and it's sacred and there's real intimacy, and then you're trying for a kid, it feels good, and you're not over excessive in it. You're trying to make a baby, this and that, making love. when you're doing masturbation every day, watching porn, having loads of sex, it's gonna deplete you. Like I said before, it's depleting your body of energy. Where bhakti and semen retention and abstaining from sex, you're preserving your energy, your life force. Do you know what I mean? And that's gonna be used for spiritual gains. But if you ain't got no spirituality, then I guess these temporary pleasures make you feel good and it's a way of relaxing. But when you got bhakti, then the divine bliss is much more relaxing than temporary sensual pleasure. Yeah, so this study is saying, it's good for your cardiovascular health, sex is and this and that. There's so many other stuff that's good for your health. It doesn't have to be masturbation or bloody sex. All that does is increase your circulation. You can jog. You can do so many other stuff. Pump weights. Do you know what I mean? Do a bit of body weights. Walk. You know what I mean? There's so many things. You pump your circulation and increase your heart. The scientists, mumbo jumbo. You don't know who they're paid by, whatever. What's going on? Is there a condom company paying them to do this sort of stuff to encourage all this sort of, you know, like I said, people that have, every time I've abstained from sex or masturbation, I don't do it mechanically. When my bhakti is going well, then automatically it just happens. And it's the best feeling I felt. I feel stronger, confident, my voice changes, my tone of voice changes, my energy levels changes, my happiness changes, my pain threshold changes. You know what I mean? I don't feel tensed up and this and that. Do you know what I mean? Or frustrated like most people. Because when you're doing the Barney, you're feeling cool and soothed. So maybe without the Barney is different. If you're mechanically doing it and then people feel tense that they need a release. Do you know what I mean? But it's like sometimes you have a chocolate and you feel wicked and after the after crash. So people don't talk about the after crash. Follow the guru, man. I'm gonna put the Barney quotes at the end. Yeah, there's many ways you can improve your heart health. It doesn't have to be through masturbating and excessive sex. Do you know what I mean?
When a woman actually can do deep throating with her partner's lingam, that actually can heal trauma.
Wow.
It can release untrapped emotions. The unsuppressed desires and emotional release that can happen in deep throating is immense. If a woman is suppressing her voice, her needs, her desires, that there's a spot right here in the throat chakra. This is where the throat chakra sits. When you deep throat, that gets activated. So, we have nadis and energy centers all over the body, and one of them's here.
Yeah, so in the following video, you're gonna see a mumbo jumbo tantric sex person talking about deep throating, giving fucking blowjobs is good for the man and it's good for the ladies' chakra. This Kama Sutra shit, tantric shit, has been existing in fucking, ancient Hindu culture. Yeah, and like, it's nothing to do with Sikhi, man. It's I know some tantric stuff happens with a lot of these Sikh yoga places and shit like that. It's all bollocks. Yoga's not gonna get you to seek God, Paramatma. None of this sex ain't gonna get you. None of this, and it's all degrading positions and putting, your partner in degrading positions, this and that. Most religions, like I said, they don't want to do any degrading sex. They want to keep the respect, the izzat in the sexual interaction. Most men, like they don't want the woman to do the work. They just do the missionary, uh, make intimacy, make love to have a baby. That's how it used to be in traditional religious cultures, I know. Yeah, Kama Sutra and all that, I don't know where that's come from, but it's nothing to do with our faith. So people need to stop mixing this bullshit in our faith. Our faith is very just simple. You get married and you have kids, you know what I mean? You keep the izzat, nothing degrading, no orals and shit like that and all that shit. You keep the organs for what they're meant to be used for because otherwise it just causes diseases and it degrades people. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so when you don't have orgasm for women and men, you actually save energy, you conserve energy. The nutrients from the semen are reabsorbed by the body. Science has proven that. On a spiritual level, the Kundalini energy rises, your Shakti rises, and it moves towards the Dasam. It helps you spiritually. It helps fight against the Panch Jor. The Shakti does. As if you're doing Bani Bhakti, remembrance of God with it, and most of our seekers should be doing that. Yeah. So look, man, who are you gonna follow, the science or the guru? The guru knows more better than scientists, you know. Guru told us cigarettes were bad. Science, has just caught up with that. You know what I mean? There's loads of stuff that the guru has told us about universes, planets, spirits, uh, neuroscience. Man, the guru was doing neuroscience before neuroscience was even a thing. You know what I mean? Meditation, manifestation, all these sort of things. The guru was done it centuries ago. They knew so much stuff. Keeping your hair, scientifically, that regulates temperatures, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, after Dimagia, you can even follow the scientists that have many variables. It's a bit mumbo jumbo, some of these studies. Or Turki Bani and follow your guru. Tadi Magia. I'm just putting it out there, guys. So mans will study and read all his sexual stuff, the Kama Sutra, but he had to keep my woman happy, had to keep my man happy. People study it. They indulge in their own pleasures, innit? Just they don't spend that much time doing Korj, researching into Nambani and stuff like that. I've heard man say, look, if I don't keep my woman happy, who else? Someone else might. The main aim is to get to Rab. You know what I mean? You made your woman or man happy in previous lives and you're still here reincarnating. If she leaves you because of sexual stuff, then that's not the type of woman that you want behind you anyway. You know what I mean? You want a God-fearing woman that's going to help you progress in your spiritual path. Do you know what I mean? Sex is just there to have babies, bruv. That is simple as that. It is, like I said, a few seconds of um, orgasm, which is a couple nerves tingling, couple muscles contracting, and a couple hormones releasing, and the world has gone crazy over it. What does Maharaj say now? Sexual desire and anger are diffused throughout the universe, coming and going. People suffer in pain. Ang 129 Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Maharaj is saying, look, these tricks of Maya have keeping you coming and going. It's all pain. Being born is pain. Being reincarnated is pain. You do not control your seed and semen, and yet you claim to practice abstinence. You are lured by the taste of the tongue and sex organs. So Maharaj is talking to certain yogis that live in the forest, this and that, but they might not be having sex with women because they claim to be abstinence, abstinence, yeah, sorry. But obviously they're masturbating, the sex organs, the desires, the urges, they haven't controlled them because they're not doing the naam. He who does not preserve his semen and seed and does not chant the Shabad. So Maharaj is saying, if you're masturbating, if you're having excessive sex, you're not chanting the Shabad, you're doomed. That's on Ang 945. You can read the rest of the Shabad because I'm just gonna go through some just bullet points. So your name, O Lord and Master, is the purifier of sinners, the giver of peace, immaculate, cooling, and soothing. So jump in the Naam, these hot, thirsty desires will go. The lustful, lustrous man desires many women, and he never stops peeking into the home of others. Ang 672. You are overflowing with sexual desire, and your intellect is stained with darkness. You are held in the grip of Shakti's power. Your eyes water, and your intellect and strength have left you, but still your sexual desire churns and drives you on. Even as the old age as Buddha, Ang 93, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, you know, the ones that ain't connected, the ones that ain't doing spirituality, they'll still be perverts. They'll still do, some will do sexual crimes, sexual abuse, or still chasing women. And they've done this for all their life. The vice versa for women as well. Day and night you are engrossed in sexual desire, O my merchant friend, and your consciousness is blind to the Naam. This is what I was saying earlier. Just for this little 10 seconds of muscles contracting, nerves tingling, we spend our whole life again and again and again. Naam, we should be focusing on the Naam. We've given it too much emphasis, sex. You filthy, heartless, lustful donkey, haven't you heard of the righteous judge of Dharma? Dharma, Ang 1001. So Maharaj is again waking us up. Change karam karo. Don't indulge too much. Obviously, a bit's needed to have kids and stuff. Lust, anger, egotism, jealousy, and desire are eliminated by chanting the name of the Lord. Simran, that's Ang 1389, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. The Guru has cut out the sinful mistakes of sexual desire and anger, and my hopes have been fulfilled. Ang 108, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. When I was When I was mature enough, Sadhguru Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji gave me this teaching: until the day you take your last breath, you must take this and never forget it. You must always keep respect for your wife. You must never go into another woman's bed, even in your dreams. Siri Dasam Granth Sahib, Ang 842. Be faithful to your one wife. See others as your daughters, sisters, mothers. Vice versa for women. War 6 Puri 8 by Gadas Ji. Without having an undercarriage, those who have sexual relations, listen, O Sikh, the Guru states, he or she is not my Sikh. Those Sikhs who fall for a woman or a man other than their spouse will not receive the blessings of Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Rehat Namapai Nand Lal Ji. There you have it, people. That's what the Gurbani says.